Why hast thou betrayeth me? Don't you know that betrayal leads to death? Hey guys, welcome back to the String Picking Channel here at Obscene Studios, where picking strings is what we love and what we do. But before you get to string picking, sometimes you have problems. And I have a problem. I have this never ending urge to save a buck or two and completely forget about you pay for what you get. I'm sure all of you have been there. Hey, I can buy this for $20, but they got this for 10. And then you think you're saving money, but in the long run, you're costing yourself money because you got to go right back out and buy the $20 item or the $30 item. So you're out the original 10 plus the $20 or $30 more that you got to spend. So today we're looking at this pedal board. Now, I will tell you that sometimes saving money is a good thing. I built this pedal board. I built two of them actually. One of them is a lot more heavy duty than this one is, and that's the one that I keep my head rush on. This one is basically just something that I threw together and out of pieces that probably wouldn't even cost you $10 if you went to the hardware store to buy it. And I'll show you how I've done that. However, at the moment, I bought this cheap, good for nothing power supply from Amazon, thinking that I was getting a good deal. I mean, who can go wrong with a power supply, right? Right? I can. That's who. So basically, what it boiled down to was this. And this is another reason why I should have never bought this, because I was in a hurry to get like a little pedal board rig built up for my bass guitar. And you wind up doing stuff like this. So basically, number one in this video, all you really need is a piece of like 1/2 inch AC pine plywood and some furring strips. That's exactly how I built this board. I put one across the back. I made some little legs to where it's set at an angle. And then I come across the top using this stuff right here, which you can also find at your local hardware store. It's Velcro. And usually it comes on a big roll and you cut it to length, and then you put one side of it down on your board, the other side on the bottom of your pedal. You're good to go. These aren't made for travel unless you have a bag that you can put it in that'll fit, and you want to build one to the size of the bag that you can put it in. You can do that. However, what I did was just build it for here at home. So basically, I've got a 2 foot by about 16 inches, and that's given me more than enough room for whatever pedals I want on the board. And then once I got it screwed together, I spray painted the whole thing black. Then I come up here and added the hook side of the Velcro. I done 4 rows. I done 2 here, 2 here, and then I done one across the top to hold, like when you're coming out with your instrument cable to your amp, to hold it steady. You can run it under this, or coming in from an instrument or something to hold it steady if you would like to do that. However, I do use wireless, so that really doesn't, but it's there in case I need it. So long story short, let's get to the problem. The problem is, when I bought this and I plugged it in, it was working just fine. Absolutely perfect. So I ended up thinking to myself, I'm going to have a drum pedal, which is this little dude right here, on this pedal board so I can jam along with playing the bass. Because as I'm learning to play bass more and more, I find out that keeping time with different drum patterns is a must. So I added this pedal, but I had it down here. Well, I pulled this thing through this hole. I drilled 1/2-inch holes, enough to get these through. And I pulled this thing through that hole, and it was a bit of a hard fit. Not too hard, but snug enough to where I got a set of needle nose and gripped it slightly and pulled it through the hole. Once I done that, no power coming from this one. Power coming to the rest of them, except for this one and the very last one that it leads to. This has 8 leads. So today we are getting rid of it, costing ourselves more money by going with a better power supply. Well, actually, it's still kind of budget, but I like it. Should have went with this to start with. So it's just one of those things. But yeah, this garbage. Do not buy these. Absolutely do not buy these. So today we are going to, I'm not even going to mess with bringing them back through the hole. I'm just going to unplug them all, and I'm going to cut the tops off of them, and we are going to go with, another power supply that's going to be better. Now, this is made by AZOR. Now, I have had their products before. I'm not sponsored by them, by Amazon. Comes with a power block looking like this. It has light indicators for when you do plug in something. You can see what power is running to what cable through to your pedals. And on the front right here to the right is a USB-C hookup. It goes out to a USB little plug adapter that you plug into the wall, and then you can run each one of these. And the beauty of this is if you're only using 5 pedals, you only have to use 5 of the things. You don't have to plug them all in, have them dangling everywhere and all that stuff. And right here in this box is all of the little doohickeys. So, and right here is the power supply one. So yeah, we got all of these right here. Whichever ones that I'm not using, I can just lift up my Velcro right here and Velcro them down so I know where they're at whenever I need it. So we're going to cut these off, and we're going to put that on. I am going to mount this with Velcro as well underneath the pedal board. And I'm going to put Velcro here and Velcro to the other side of it, and then just put it up in there. And then that way we're good to go. It'll be a whole lot neater. We don't have to worry about all the mess. So, but first, we're going to butcher these things and cut their heads off so we can put those things on. This gives me great pleasure, by the way. And for those of you wondering, no, it's not plugged in. I'm allergic to electricity. It makes me break out in afro and convulsions. So, but yeah, this is absolute trash. I have used this pedal board just a handful of times, and I could not believe for the life of me why it would just stop working. Those of you out there that are getting into pedal boards, now I will use analog as well as digital. Most of you know, I'm a huge fan of Headrush. I love Headrush, fractals, all that stuff. I love all that. It's very convenient, very, once you're used to it, it's kind of hard to go with anything else. And so I really, really enjoy that side of it. But at the same time, I do enjoy my analog stuff too. Most of us out there that are above the age of 40 know that back in the day, you mainly used just analog stuff, analog pedals. And then when digital came along, we were all lost, didn't know what was going on, what to do, didn't know how to operate it, and all that other stuff. And we was just freaking out, and it was a lot to learn. But once you learned it, it got to be one of those situations where you were like, holy crap, man. Uh, Instead of having all these pedals, you have one. And that's what I like about the head rush. But on the bass, I like to have some analog stuff. I like that clean, punchy, kind of sound. I do run my bass through the head rush from time to time. Works just fine. So, but yeah, this is my little cheapo pedal board. I didn't put any framework around the edges like I did on my other one. So this one's a little bit lower profile, but I do like it. It is a very nice thing to have, especially for I mean, literally, I've got in this piece of wood and these right here under $10, and then counting spray paint and the Velcro, I think you can buy that whole thing of Velcro for $10. Okay, this is the stuff that I was telling you about, the Velcro. Again, not sponsored. So what you just need to do is just size it up, and about right there, and then I cut across both sides. And the best possible position for this is going to be right up and under here, about right in the center. Just going to put that there. I've already checked to see if all of these are going to fit pretty well, and they do. So then we just set that down right there. And then we can go through here and then the rest of the way out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the first 4 here, and then we're going to come over to the last 3 to run through these pedals over here. I have been wanting to do this for a while. I do not have luck with electricity, by the way. When it comes to electricity, I am a glutton for punishment. I've worked around heavy equipment the majority of my youth, and I have been blowed off of 240 boxes, got blowed off of a 480 box once, 3-phase. Not exactly the kind of work that I like to be around, but when you run big heavy equipment and machinery, especially in a sawmill, it gets kind of hairy from time to time. You never know when it's going to blow one of them big fuses. A regular fuse, you think regular fuse in a car. These fuses were like that big around, that long. So when they blew up, they blew up. Thankfully, I never had any kind of, I had the hair cooked off my arm once, but I never had any kind of electricity pass through my body from it. Most of the time, it was just blowing the door open, and when it blew the door open, it basically door hits me, knocks me down, kind of thing, But yeah, man, I don't like electricity. I don't, my preacher said the other day, I was talking to him, about things that we had done, when we was younger for work and stuff, and I was telling him about this and that, and he brought up plumbing, and I told him, I said, I cannot stand plumbing. I absolutely despise plumbing. And he said, well, here's my thought with plumbing and electricity. Plumbing, you can see that water coming for you. Electricity just wants to kill you. After thinking about it, I was like, you know what? That is a very good point to make. I never did think of it like that. But the man was right. Electricity just wants to kill you. Okay, let's go ahead and move this over just a bit. That's the beauty of Velcro right there. If you need to reposition, you can reposition. And that way we can get to everything underneath. All right, and we have got one left over. This is an 8-wire power supply, 9-volt. And we're going to plug in our little power adapter here. Now let's flip this thing over and get a look at it. All right, all neat and tidy. And it doesn't look crazy bad underneath either. You not got anything dangling down to the ground or anything like that. Looks like that Velcro is going to hold that pretty good. So let's see if we can power any of this up. Okay, well clearly I need more patch cables. I thought I had some, but apparently I do not. So I am having to use this little 3-footer right here, but the rest of it I got hooked up just fine. And I did swap out the power supply cable, but with this braided one that was quite a bit longer than the one that actually come with it. So that is actually working pretty good. And other than that, I mean, it's looking good, man. I really do dig it. I like it. That's what it looks like when it's lit up. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it is lit up underneath. So I'm going to play you a short demo through my interface, and that way you guys can experience this. I mean, it's of course we know it's got power now, but I feel kind of guilty bringing you a video and not at least playing something and embarrassing myself on how poorly I play the bass. So and there you have it, folks. The El Cheapo pedal boards and the new power supply seems to be working pretty good. It's cleaned it up a lot. So, hey, you know what? If you got a few bucks on you and you go to your local hardware store, around here we have Ace, we have Lowe's, we have places like that. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think I got this material at Lowe's, and I just bought a pre-cut 2x2. No, I may be wrong. Yeah, it was. It was a 2x2 square. So these are 2 foot by 12 inches, and that is more than enough room to do a bunch of pedals on. I have one dedicated to just digital with my head rush MX5, and I have an expression pedal on it. That's all I keep on that, and it's a little bit heavier duty built than this other one is. The other one, I was just on the fly thinking, you know what, these pedals are not going to fit on that board. Might as well just build another one, and I did. And you know what, it doesn't cost that much. You could probably buy this for less than a carton of eggs right now. I mean, literally. You could probably take eggs in at Lowe's and swap it for this and get money back. I mean, come on. Have you seen the prices? But anyway, that's just my little thing. If you guys want to know how I built these, the measurements or whatever, you know, it's not really that hard to do. These will never ever see any kind of touring or anything like that. That part of my life is long, long gone, and they're just going to stay in the home. I built them to be stomped on. I mean, that's pretty much how it's going to go. When I got done building these, I stood on them, and they held my weight, and I'm at 255. So I'm a big guy, you know, and it held me up. So but that's it for today's video. I thank y'all for stopping in. Next time, bring food and snacks and all that stuff, because I need it. I have to maintain this balloon style figure here. And so y'all just come on back, subscribe, like, do all that clickety stuff, you know, you do on your keyboards and on your computers and all this other stuff. I appreciate y'all so much more than you'll ever know, and I'll see you next time.